God damn, Dolemite.
Great God in heaven, you know I...
Sorry,
Give me that shit. Hey, you know what, guys? My Name is Dolemite trailer premiered with Eddie Murphy in the title role of Rudy Ray Moore, and I thought it was freaking awesome. I cannot wait for this movie.
It's surprising that they're still doing like so we had Shaft, we had Superfly, we had who else did we get? We had somebody else.
Foxy Brown.
Well,
you're talking about
like them
like updating them?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Jackie Brown. I mean,
Jackie Brown was basically Foxy Brown, right?
Foxy Brown,
okay.
yeah.
All right, so we got that. I never thought we were gonna get Rudy Ray Moore, and I never thought we were gonna get Dolemite.
I haven't seen. Oh, we did get a Superfly. You're right.
I watched it. It was
right,
like
right.
It was actually pretty interesting. It was really a serious film. With Shaft, it was more comedy. It was action comedy. More, I mean, obviously cops and robbers, but like, and then with Foxy Brown, it was the Quentin Tarantino, like over the top, like uber violent, gore type stuff, and it was like very serious. The Shaft one was more like, hey, we're just reinventing this character, and I don't know why I'm gonna go way so far on Shaft, but we're reinventing this character. So I thought that's where they were gonna leave blaxploitation at until we get Blackula. Which actually we did. It was called Blade. So it was called.
Oh, I thought it was called Vampire in Brooklyn.
Very true. It's called Vampire in Brooklyn. It was
starring Eddie.
It was called Vampire in Brooklyn, and then they rebooted it and called it Blade.
There you go.
Called it Blade. But anyway, so I didn't think we were gonna get anything else like this. I thought Shaft was gonna be the last thing that we saw, and then when you tell me about the trailer, I was like, no way. And then it was starring Eddie Murphy, and I was like, oh my god, This is perfect.
I'm in.
This is perfect. Are we talking about overall thoughts of the trailer right now? What are we gonna talk? Where were we gonna start?
I don't know. Well, first of all, what did you think about the trailer?
I thought it was great So in all the other films, it's basically them saying like, hey, we're just gonna pick up the franchise. We're gonna continue a movie in that same vein, right? This one is more of a biopic.
Exactly.
And I liked that.
I liked it too. Because you were what you were talking about when you're talking about Shaft, when it came out in 2000, it was basically.
By the way, Shaft 2 sucked.
It was basically a reboot / a sequel to the original Shaft.
Right.
So it's just continuing the story of the character of Shaft.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually Rudy Ray Moore and him coming up with the idea of Dolemite, which he actually got the idea from a mineral, Dolemite. That's actually true. That's in his Wikipedia.
Yeah. That sounds like, do you remember the old I Love Lucy and the Vegemite vitamin thing that she was? That's what it seems like to me when he was like, I saw
Sure.
Oh, I was an I Love Lucy fan, I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm a Honeymooners fan, so that's cool. But yeah, so it, how he got his name and how, and the ambition that he had to get his name out there as far as entertainment in show business, whatever it was. He tried the comedy thing. They pretty much considered it too vulgar. Which they did not consider Red Fox vulgar. So
Red Fox sold a lot of albums, and that's
but he was trying to do the same thing, and I don't know if he took it to another level. If he was the Dice Clay of the Bros back in the day,
Dice Clay of black people.
Of the Bros back in the day, but because
he wore a jacket,
because Red Fox has a stand-up comedy album called Plain Brown Chocolate Wrapper, something like that.
Okay.
And in that, he is pretty freaking nasty. And
I've heard a couple of Red Fox albums, and I was like, I'm too young to be listening to this.
Yeah, that was last week.
Yeah, I know, right?
So him wanting to break into the business and all that, I think they did pick the perfect clip. Now you're giving me crap about his voice because he sounds like Eddie.
It's Eddie, dude.
I don't think he sounds like Eddie. He sounds more like Clump, in my opinion. He sounds more like Clump.
And that's worse. That's worse. So when I heard I was so caught up in the very beginning of the trailer. I was like, this is a perfect idea for them to do with this. And then I kept listening to him as the character, and all I kept hearing was Eddie Murphy. And if you want to say Clump, that's fine. It's Eddie doing Clump as Rudy Ray Moore. And that's not what I wasn't happy with. I was like, dude, I mean, Rudy Ray Moore wasn't as high-pitched as Eddie or as any of the Clump characters that he's ever played.
Okay, I'll give you
that. That's not his voice. And I was like, he didn't take like 5 minutes to figure out a deep voice that he could have done. I mean, he doesn't have like a super Barry White deep voice, but he does have a deeper voice than what he was doing in his trailer.
I think it was more about getting the personality and
that's fine. You can do the personality with a deeper voice
and the comedic timing of Rudy Ray Moore. I think that's what Eddie was going for,
and that's fine. It's
I get it.
Eddie can't do a voice,
but the performance was I see was still freaking pretty damn good,
and that's fine. As I watch the movie, I'm hoping I'm gonna forget the voice.
I'll forget it.
I hope I forget the voice because it's just gonna. Right now, it's like I'm listening to Eddie do
Rudy Ray Moore.
Yeah.
So Rudy Ray Moore passed away in 2008, and he is pretty much considered the godfather of rap. In some of
because
his,
he rhymed some stuff.
Yeah, so that's why they call him that. I want to say he's self-proclaimed, but you know what? Hey, whatever, man. If you want to consider him the godfather of rap, he gets a title. I don't give a shit.
Can we call him the godfather of poetry? I mean, because the people forever have been rhyming things, and I don't know if I give it to Rudy Ray Moore to say he started rap.
William Shakespeare was the
he's the godfather of rap.
He's the great grandfather of rap.
So
Edgar Allan Poe was a great forget. But
overall, like the tone of the film, I think it's great. Like I said, the biopic aspect is amazing that they would do with this because I don't know enough about Rudy Ray Moore. I just know a character that he played, and that's my only outlook of him on it. So, like,
well, I think it kind of blurs the lines there.
Yeah, no, it's just like how much of that was him and how much was the character he created.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it was like, that's cool. I want to see that. Yeah. I really, really want to see that. It's great that it's coming to Netflix because now I don't have to wait for like 2 years for this film to come out. It's going to come out on Netflix like this fall. So that's amazing. I was like, I appreciate that when Netflix do movies, it's like they let you know at the last minute that they did the movie. Now when it's like, hey, we did this movie like 2 years ago, but here's a trailer. It'll be out next week.
So, but when it comes to Netflix movies now, especially with stuff like Roma that just came out last year and won the Oscar, to get accredited for being Oscar nominated for anything, they are going to release it theatrically. So it is going to be in limited theaters.
They'll put it in certain markets.
Yeah, and I think that like LA, New York, Chicago, those places more than likely they will.
Maybe it'll come out early as being like in certain markets. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so just in case, hey, he might be. Maybe he could. It's a possibility.
I mean, he was up for Dreamgirls. So,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not beyond Eddie to be up for an award.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. This reminded me a lot of Black Dynamite in a lot of ways, as far as.
Oh my God! It would have been so great if they had get Michael Jai White. Oh my God!
Maybe cameo.
They would have shown him in a trailer. They would have shown him in a trailer. They would have shown because they wouldn't have had to spend a lot of money on Michael Jai White. They would have put him in a trailer. Like,
damn. So let's talk about the cast. You got obviously you got Eddie Murphy as Rudy Ray Moore. You got Craig Robinson, Mike Epps, and you got Wesley Snipes.
I was very surprised to see Wesley Snipes in the credits.
I was not. He needs to pay that taxes off. He needs to pay some shit off. So.
Well, I mean, and with his history, he'll get this money and not pay taxes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm sorry.
But it was good. Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah,
Nino, get him, Nino. It's good to see him back. It's good to see Nino Brown.
I hope
Wesley Snipes back.
That's messed up. I'm sorry, Wesley. He did that one.
I didn't call him Blade. I called him Nino Brown. That's even worse.
So I hope that this is a start for a comeback for him. I hope this is a John Travolta moment.
Both of them.
Yeah.
I think this.
Well, we know Eddie's financially secure. He doesn't need to do this.
True, but at the same time, it's funny that you said that because a lot of people say Eddie about making a comeback.
Yeah.
And like
we just talked about.
I've never left.
1 week or two ago.
I've never left. Like I've never left.
No,
so.
He's a Rick Moranis. It's like, look, I'm waiting for a good script to do something. Hopefully, this is what he looked at as like, hey, this is a great thing for me to be behind.
Yeah.
And it's a smaller thing to where he doesn't feel like he's impacted by like what the box office has to do, and like, hey, I need to
just the content itself, just the product, the script.
We get to do something that we feel like this is going to be a good story. It's going to be something interesting. It's a passion project.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a passion project, and Netflix. Even though Netflix does get up in some higher budgets and stuff like that, it's still small enough to where it's based on like their viewership with their own members. So like if they like, which I know they make it off membership, but I'm like, if I'm already paying you the money and you produce something new, I was like, how do you make more money?
Well, it's probably through like endorsements or anything like that. Or
they don't show ads, so I'm like,
well, that's true. They don't show ads. You're right.
It's like, how do you make more money? How y'all paying for this?
Well, I don't know. They just lost 70 billion. They just lost like all this freaking money.
I mean, it's
recently.
Like,
so
you
who
and
knows?
Movie Pass. I'm baffled. How do
70
y'all make
million,
money?
I think they lost, or whatever they lost. But with that, I guess that relationship that started with this project, pretty much put it in his head to, hey, what better way to get those comebacks and comedy and come back into comedy, because they offered him $70 million to do similar to what they did to Chappelle and
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, yeah.
Chris Rock and
what did they give
Chris
Rock?
Tucker?
40 mil.
I think they gave him 40 mil for one.
Two.
Or
I think it was two.
Was it two?
Chappelle was 2 per, I think, or 20 million per, or something like that.
Because I thought
or 20 million.
I thought they gave Chappelle 60 for.
Was it 60 or 20? Either way,
I gotta look it up now.
They gave him some money.
Yeah, so I know Chris got the largest for one, and then Chappelle got the largest for two overall, and then Eddie was trying to get the largest overall. Period.
And but you know what? Hey,
70 for the one.
We haven't had a stand-up special since Raw. Mm-hmm. I mean, hell yeah, you're gonna try to freaking get that. My only concern was the timing. His timing.
He needs to get back out there, but that was a story that that's something we discussed in the previous thing. If you want to go back and look at the podcast, maybe I'll clip that out so that way you guys can look at it under For the Love of the Mic. But I would like this to be the start of him really getting back into comedy. And we say that it's like he's done some drama, but the majority of the things that he has done after stand-up comedy has just been regular comedy films
or action comedy.
Yeah, it's like he hasn't really gotten out of it. If he's not going to go back to stand-up comedy, I want you to do interesting things. I don't want you to just be doing things to make money. I know he went through a phase where I want to do films that my kids could watch, and then your kids grew up and you're still doing these films.
Yeah, or I want to do films that my kids can watch, but my kids won't watch them.
Exactly.
Meet Dave,
yeah,
Pluto and a Half.
Yeah, it's like his kids are already grown by then. And it's like, why are you still doing these films? I got it when they were younger. Totally get it. Look, everybody's done a bunch of kids films before. Obviously, we got the stuff that Batista's doing, the stuff that The Rock's done. Every other action star has done a bunch of family kids.
Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, it's like everybody's done.
I get it.
I totally get it. It's fine. It's whatever. But like, your audience is also getting older, and we don't want to keep seeing you in this kiddie stuff, that is fluff that you're doing. So for him to do something like he did Dreamgirls, and everybody gives him the props that he did for Dreamgirls, but then he did Tower Heist, and then
This is the Eddie Murphy we love.
Yeah,
But he was also doing independent films. He did this one called Mr. Church that they praised.
I never even heard about.
Yeah, they praised his performance, but the movie really just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And now you have a project like this, which I like that he didn't revert to the well, which I know that he is going to do Coming to America 2 next year. I think it's coming out. Coming to America.
By the way, it's like if you've seen a video earlier when on our playlist and stuff like that, it was like I gave him crap about Avatar 2 has been too long. Coming to America's probably been too long.
Since 88 that movie came out.
And as I said, nobody wants to see Avatar 2.
Yeah. Nobody's supposed to see Avatar 2.
It's been 10 years.
But Coming to America Part 2 from
40 years ago.
Yeah. But anyway, so
like 30 years ago.
Even though he's doing that kind of thing, and that's fine. But at least he's trying to do projects that are away from his library, and like he's doing his filmography, and he's actually doing something new. So a movie like My Name Is Dolemite, which I really think that I really think it's going to be damn good, a cross between Boogie Nights and Black Dynamite. Put those two together, and that's what this is looking like.
Michael J. White better make a cameo.
I'm just happy.
He better make a fucking cameo in this.
Hey,
film.
I'm just happy they put the roundhouse in the freaking trunk.
All right, so my best part of the trailer. All right, so I'm not a big Dolemite fan. But from that one movie, that is the best part.
That was because we used to watch freaking Great White Hype.
Yeah,
that's my inspiration.
It's tape. Yeah, it's like you gotta wait. You gotta do Dolemite kick, and he's having to fight out in the drive. All I remember from a Dolemite film is like this fight in a driveway, and they put it in the movie, and it got me so excited when I saw it. I was like, oh my god, I remember that scene.
It was awful. It's one of the worst roundhouse.
Worst. Whoever choreographed it that dude should be fired and blacklisted from Hollywood. I'm sure he probably is. But it's so awesome. It's amazing at the same time.
If you ever saw John Saxon's roundhouse in Enter the Dragon, if you thought that was bad, this is worse.
He copied it from Dolemite. comedy from Dolemite.
Oh man. Either way, tell us what you think about My Name is Dolemite. Are you excited to see it? Are you excited to see Eddie back on the screen?
Oh, damn!
Go hat to the back, just for you.
Way down deep in the jungle.
That's what we're gonna do right now. Ready?
Way down in the jungle deep.
That's right. That's how it goes. 3, 2, 1. Way down in the jungle deep.
I need
A lion stepped on a signifying monkey's feet.